Hi, this is Kaylee Baker and this is my course project presentation. Chemical that causes fatalities in aquatic organisms. The chemical that I have chose to talk about that affects multiple organisms is the oil spills that are caused in the ocean. It's a release of a liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, especially the marine ecosystem, due to human activity and is a form of pollution. The term is usually given to marine oil spills, where oil is released into the ocean or coastal waters, but spills may also occur on land. What is oil? Crude oil, the liquid remains of ancient plants and animals, is a fossil fuel that is used to make a wide range of fuels and products. Oil is found below ground or below the ocean floor in reservoirs, where oil droplets reside in pores or holes in the rock. After drilling down and pumping out the crude oil, oil companies transport it by pipes, ships, trucks, or trains to processing plants called refiners. There it is refined so it can be made into different petroleum products, including gasoline and other fuels, as well as products like asphalt, plastics, soaps, and paints. How do oil spills happen? Oil spills are more common than you might think, and they happen in many ways. Thousands of oil spills occur in the U.S. waters each year. Most of these spills are small. For example, when oil spills while refueling a ship, but these spills can still cause damage, especially if they happen in sensitive environments, like beaches, mangroves, and wetlands. Large oil spills are major dangerous disasters. These tend to happen when pipelines break, big oil tanker ships sink, or drilling operations go wrong. Consequences to the ecosystems and economies can be felt for decades following a large oil spill. Where do oil spills happen? Oil spills can happen anywhere oil is drilled, transported, or used. When oil spills happen in the ocean, in the Great Lakes, on the shore, or in rivers that flow into these coastal waters, NOAA experts may get involved. The Office of Response and Restoration mission is to develop scientific solutions to keep the coasts clean from threats of oil, chemicals, and marine debris. How does NOAA help after an oil spill? When a person gets sick, a doctor evaluates their symptoms, diagnoses the problem, and then prescribes a treatment to help them get better. That's also what NOAA experts do after an oil spill. They evaluate what happened, assesses the impact, and then design restoration projects to help the ocean recover. Restoration isn't the same as cleanup. It requires projects like building marshland or protecting bird nesting habitat to actively bolster the environment. Restoration projects are important because they speed up the amount of time it takes for different species and habitats to recover. In addition to restoring habitats, the group responsible for the spill may also be held accountable for restoring access to natural spaces by constructing parks, boat ramps, and fishing piers. Who cleans up an oil spill and how? The U.S. Coast Guard is primarily responsible for cleaning up oil spills, while NOAA experts provide scientific support to make smart decisions that protect people and the environment. There are different equipment and tactics that trained experts can use to contain or remove oil from the environment. When a spill occurs, booms are floating physical barriers to oil which help keep it contained and away from sensitive areas like beaches, mangroves, and wetlands. Skimmers are used off boats and can skim oil from the sea surface. In situ burning or setting fire to an oil slick can burn the oil away at sea. And chemical dispersants can break up oil slicks from the surface. However, cleanup activities can never remove 100% of the oil spilled, and scientists must be careful that their actions don't cause additional harm. After the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989, scientists learned that high-pressure, hot water hoses used to clean up beaches cause more damage than oil alone. Sensitive habitats need extra consideration during oil spill cleanup. Who pays for oil spill cleanup and restoration? The Oil Pollution Act of 1990 established, among other things, that those responsible for oil spills can be held responsible to pay for cleanup and restoration. The process of assessing the impact of spill and reaching a settlement to fund restoration projects is called Natural Resources Damage Assessment, NRDA. Federal, state, and tribal agencies work together with the party responsible for the oil spill throughout NRDA select restoration projects with help from the public. Working with partners from state, tribal, and federal agencies and industry, NOA helps to recover funds from the parties responsible for the oil spill, usually through legal settlements. Over the last 30 years, NOA has helped recover over $9 billion from those responsible for the oil spill to restore the ocean and Great Lakes. What are the largest marine oil spills in American history? There are 3 oil spills that stand out in American history, each of which was the largest oil spill into the American waterways at the time. In 1969, a blowout on an offshore platform off the coast of Santa Barbara, California, spilled over 4 million gallons of oil. In 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker ran aground in the Prince William Sound in Alaska, spilling over 11 million gallons of oil. The largest marine oil spill in all of U.S. history was the Deepwater Horizon spill. On April 20, 2010, an explosion occurred on the Deepwater Horizon drilling platform in the Gulf of Mexico, killing 11 people. Before it was capped, 3 months later, approximately 134 million gallons of oil had spilled into the ocean. That is equivalent to the volume of over 200 Olympic-sized swimming pools, and $8.8 billion settlement for the restoration was reached in 2016, and restoration is still continuing today. Here's a map of the largest oil spills affecting U.S. waters. This is the Deepwater Horizon, and this is all the oil that was spilled. The problem? Oil is an ancient fossil fuel that we use to heat our homes, generate electricity, and power large sectors of our community. But when oil accidentally spills into the ocean, it can cause big problems. Oil spills can harm sea creatures, ruin a day at the beach, and make seafood unsafe to eat. It takes sound science to clean up the oil, measure the impacts of pollution, and help the ocean recover. The cause of death? Where the oil is spilled, what kind of plants, animals, and habitats are found there, and the amount of type of oil. Among other things, it can influence how much harm an oil causes. Generally, oil spills harm ocean life in 2 ways. Fouling or oiling. Fouling or oiling occurs when oil physically harms a plant or animal. Oil can coat a bird's wings and leave it unable to fly, or strip away the insulating properties of a sea otter's fur, putting it at risk of hypothermia. The degree of oiling often impacts the animal's chances of survival. Oil toxicity. Oil consists of many different toxic compounds. These toxic compounds can cause severe health problems like heart damage, stunted growth, immune system effects, and even death. Our understanding of oil toxicity has expanded by studying the effect of the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Here are many different animals that have been affected by the oil spills: turtle, sea otter, fish, ducks, and even dolphins, and many other different types of animals. Why is oil spills toxic to fish? When exposed to oil, adult fish may experience reduced growth, enlarged livers, changes in heart and respiration rates, fin erosion, and reproduction impairment. Fish eggs and larvae can be especially sensitive to lethal and sublethal impacts. There is my fact sheets of where I got all my information from, and that was my presentation.